The United States of America, known as Land of the Free, Home of the Brave, has come to symbolize freedom throughout the world. People from all nations and from all walks of life have called the United States home. The United States has welcomed them with open arms. Indeed, the famed Statue of Liberty is the embodiment of this dream. In New York's public education system alone, its student body represents 145 different countries. The United States has a deep affinity with Supreme Master Ching Hai. With her boundless love and compassion, Supreme Master Ching Hai has provided humanitarian assistance to many parts of the United States. In 1993, she sent relief teams to provide financial and material assistance to the victims of the 6 Midwestern states that were severely affected by heavy rain and flooding. On December 27, 1997, at the benefit concert, A Journey Through Aesthetic Realms, Supreme Master Ching Hai generously contributed $100,000 each to the Vietnam Children's Fund and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. The following year, at another benefit concert, One World of Peace Through Music, she once more contributed generously, with 2 charity organizations being the recipients of her love. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital received $150,000 and the Starlight Children's Foundation received a check for $100,000. Additionally, in the face of one of the worst human tragedies ever to occur on U.S. soil, on September 11, 2001, Supreme Master Ching Hai responded immediately, sending relief teams from around the country and all over the world to Ground Zero in New York City. Supreme Master Ching Hai's financial contributions amounted to over $300,000 to organizations aiding the victims. To this day, Supreme Master Ching Hai continues to extend her loving compassion to all parts of the U.S., from Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, and Alabama to California, Florida, Texas, Hawaii, and other states. We now invite you to listen to the following discussion with Supreme Master Ching Hai and our association members, entitled Enlightenment is Extraordinary, in San Jose, California, USA, on July 16, 1994.
I try to find some story for you. You know the kind of thing you do when on retreat? When you cross your legs like this, and you put your arm together like this, look very dignified like this, and then you recite the Công An or whatever, and then you slowly you agree to everything. That's how the disciples of this master Sayato Fusaku and they've been doing while the master was away. And when the master came back, the master scolded them. And the disciples said, Master, but last time you say when you sleep you see Confucius and all this. Is that not so? The master said, yes. When Confucius was alive, he also slept sometimes in the afternoon. And then he went up there and he saw all the ancient master and talked to them and drink tea with them and come back again. So that's what the same with me, the Supreme Master. So that's what the master said. And the disciples said, so we did the same today. And then so the master said, so did you see Confucius and all that? And they say, so we also want to go up and see Confucius and Buddha and Jesus and all that, so that we can learn something from them. and we can be something. The master said, but when you sleep, all these saying do not tell you anything. Is that not so? Nothing. You got nothing. So the disciple said, oh yes, yes. We went up there and see, and then the saints say, we never saw such and such a Supreme Master up here. Got it? Yeah. The Zen Master do so many nice things. There is a story like this. One day, there was a master in Japan. He stayed in a temple, and then he was was reciting the Buddha's lecture, and there was a thief. The thief comes in with a knife, and then they put the knife next to him like this. Say, you give me all the money or you die. So the master said, okay, no problem. The money is over there. You go and take it, and then no problem, and don't bother me. So the thief went over there, and then took the money, and the master continued to recite his immediate enlightenment sutra. And then the thief was going to leave with the money, and the master called him back and said, hey, I gave you something, you should say thank you. And he also said, but you leave a little bit for me, tomorrow I have to pay tax. So the thief was thinking, oh, okay, it's not bad. So he left a little bit, $100 or something for him to pay tax. A few days later, the thief was caught in the police headquarters. And then he had to plead guilty about the crime he committed, that he had stolen the money from the temple of such and such master. Everything's fine. And then the master was invited to the police quarter to ask him to accuse him so that they can persecute him and then give back the money to him. The master said, no, the money I already gave him. He did not steal anything because I gave it to him and he said thank you. So that was correct, right? Yes, it was correct that he gave it to him, and then he also said thank you, right? When somebody gave us something, we say thank you, that means everything's okay now. So after that, of course, the thief was very touched, and he still has to sit in the prison for some time for his crime. But after he left, he came back to the master and became initiated. From that day on, he became vegetarian and keep the 5 precepts, right? Yeah, and meditate 2.5 hours at least. Everything's okay. And after he died, should we pursue him until after he died? Haven't you went in and see him? I don't know. He must after he pay back the money. There's another thief story. You want to hear? I just open the book and get the thief story all the time. It's like this. There is a retreat. There's a master named Banki. There's another Japanese name. Oh, but actually, these are not all Japanese, because the Japanese Zen came from Chinese Zen. And many of the book story, the master, are the Chinese master, but they translate it into Japanese. Just like my name is Ching Hai, and in Vietnamese it's Tan Hai. Now, there was a master called Banke, and this is supposed to be a Japanese one, because many Japanese students came from all over Japan to come to this 7 days retreat. During the course of retreat, there's one person, one disciple, who are caught in the act of stealing something. So then everybody in the retreat requested the master to expel the disciple, the thief, the stealing disciple. But the master did not do anything. He seemed not to pay attention about it. And next time, this disciple do another thing again. how can you do that? Repeatedly broke the precepts, right? One of the 5 precepts. And other good disciples also requested the master that he should expel the disciple outside of the practicing circle, outside of the temple. But the master also don't say anything. Don't do anything. It's funny. Isn't that funny? And then another time, the same thing happened again. And the disciple requested that the master throw him out, because he's just a thief, he's no good. But the master also don't want to do anything about it. So one day, the good disciple gathered together and said to the master, look, if you don't take care of this, if you don't drive him out, if you don't throw him out, we will go to another temple to stay. We don't stay here. We don't want to be contaminated. We don't want to stay with a thief, do we? No, okay. And so they give him the ultimate warning. And the master just sighed, like this. Namo Omitofu, Amitabha Buddha. And then he recited Jesus' name, and then Muhammad and every saint's name he recited. And then he said to the good disciples, I know you're right. But I don't want to throw them out, because look, all of you are intelligent, all of you are good and well virtuous and morally very high standard, and you're very intelligent, very capable, and you practice very well. Therefore you can keep the precept very well. This man, he doesn't even know right from wrong. If I don't teach him, who else will? So if you want to go away, you go. I keep him. And then after that, they live together nicely. And then that disciple, who were always stealing, also cried. And after that, he never steal no more. So that's good. More story. The children like story. There is a very funny story. One more story, okay?
Yeah.
There's a very famous Japanese Zen master. I'm wearing tight clothes, talking about Japanese Zen, and living in America. Okay. This famous Zen master called Hakuin, he often told his disciples that very near there is a tea shop. The owner of the tea shop is a very old woman, and this old woman is pretty enlightened. So the disciples don't believe it. They have PhD, they have MDs, they have ABCDs, and they have not yet been so enlightened. How come a tea-serving old woman can be so enlightened? Can't believe it. So they always often came to that shop and tried to poke her out. And the women were always prepared for war. So every time when this old woman saw the disciples came around to her tea shop, or maybe vegetarian house shop, she always asked them if they come for tea or they come to test her Zen level. Yes. So if they say they came to drink tea or to eat vegetarian food, then the old lady served them nicely. All the sweetness of tea shop owner to serve the customer. Very normal relationship, just money only. But if they say they came to examine, to test her level of enlightenment, then she treated them differently. You know how she treated them? Okay, so now I'll tell you the secret. She took them behind the shop, away from the eyes of other customers. And then when they came in with her behind the shop, she hit them. And throw them out of the shop. Like, never you come back again. This shop is for drinking tea only. Every time like that. And 99%, nobody has ever escaped from her strategy. So you be careful. You be careful what you ask. Why did she do that?
Very compassionate.
Compassionate. You must be joking. Enlightened people don't have compassion. They are very hard, very realistic people. They became normal again. But a different normal. Now we think we're normal, but we're not normal. After enlightened completely, then we become truly normal. The reason why most of the master and the enlightened person, they don't like to show off their enlightenment is because there's no need to do so. Enlightenment is very, very ordinary. It is the way we should be, the way we should have been for a long time. The reason why the masters and the enlightened person don't want to argue because they already go above argumentation. They have no interest in showing people how good they are, how high level they have achieved, or how enlightened, how wise, how terrific they has become after enlightenment. Because if a person still has this kind of tendency to show off, he's not enlightened. Is that not so? Yes. It's just a very natural way of life, right? So it's like you, when you're first initiated, you are enthusiastic. You go out and give flyers to everybody. Anywhere you go, you just try to enlighten people before you even know anything about enlightenment. And after you enlighten, you slow down, right? And people walk past you, they don't even know that you're a Buddha. You become more anonymous, more calm, more nobody. Just very simple. You just exist. And whatever you know it inside. You don't care. If, by the way, in the course of conversation or during the time of tea talk or something, and people ask or talk about it, or by the way, just the opportunity arises, then you would tell people something, and if they don't want to hear, you stop.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Between Master and Disciples. Up next on Supreme Master Television is Healthy Living, right after noteworthy news. May your days be beautiful and joyous.